frozen steppes of Siberia, archaeologists uncover a burial chamber sealed beneath layers of permafrost. Inside lie the remains of a Scythian warrior, his weapons, jewelry, and horse equipment preserved by the ice. But one discovery surprises researchers the most: a leather pouch filled with cannabis seeds. For the Scythians, cannabis wasn't just a plant for fiber or food. It was sacred, a companion for rituals, medicine, and even the journey into the afterlife. Greek historian Herodotus wrote of the Scythians in the 5th century BCE. He described how they would build small tents, place cannabis on heated stones, and inhale the vapors. He noted that, inside, they shouted with joy. For these nomadic warriors, cannabis smoke was more than entertainment. It was ritual. It was a way to connect with the unseen, to enter altered states of mind, to prepare for battle, or to say farewell to the dead. And they weren't alone. Across the ancient world, cultures were discovering cannabis not only as a crop, but as a powerful tool for body and spirit. In India, sacred texts known as the Vedas called cannabis one of the 5 holy plants. Priests believed a guardian spirit lived among its leaves. For thousands of years, people consumed it in drinks like bhang, blended with milk and spices during festivals and rituals. It was said to bring joy, relieve anxiety, and open the mind to the divine. Meanwhile, in China, cannabis was recorded in the earliest pharmacopoeias. As early as 100 AD, healers prescribed it for pain, rheumatism, and digestive troubles. The legendary Emperor Shen Nung, regarded as the father of Chinese medicine, is said to have catalogued cannabis among his herbal remedies. And in ancient Egypt, cannabis was used for healing too. The Ebers Papyrus, dating back more than 3,500 years, describes it as a treatment for sore eyes and inflammation. From Asia to Africa, cannabis was spreading, a plant woven into the fabric of medicine, spirituality, and daily life. As trade routes expanded, cannabis knowledge traveled with them. In Greece, physicians used it to treat earaches, wounds, and even tapeworms. The green seeds were pressed into poultices, applied to pain and swelling. During the Islamic Golden Age, cannabis became a respected tool in the medical world. Arabic physicians documented its use as a diuretic, an anti-inflammatory, and even a treatment for epilepsy. Scholars like Avicenna, the great Persian physician, mentioned cannabis in his Canon of Medicine, one of the most influential medical texts in history. Centuries later, in the 1800s, British doctor William Brooke O'Shaughnessy observed cannabis being used widely in India. He saw its power to ease muscle spasms, relieve seizures, and calm pain. When he brought this knowledge back to Europe, cannabis quickly entered Western medicine. By the late 19th century, cannabis extracts and tinctures lined the shelves of pharmacies across Europe and North America. Apothecaries stocked bottles labeled cannabis indica, and doctors prescribed them for insomnia, cramps, migraines, and more. Cannabis had become a global medicine, trusted by patients and physicians alike. But this chapter would not last. In the 20th century, the world turned against cannabis. In 1937, the United States introduced the Marijuana Tax Act, effectively criminalizing the plant. Soon after, anti-cannabis campaigns filled the airwaves. Films like Reefer Madness painted it as a dangerous drug that led to crime and insanity. By 1941, cannabis was removed from the US pharmacopoeia. Nations around the world followed suit, pressured to outlaw what had once been a common medicine. For decades, cannabis was driven underground. Patients lost access. Researchers were blocked from studying it. The plant was no longer viewed as a healer, but as a threat. Yet cannabis never disappeared completely. In the 1970s, scientists isolated THC, the compound responsible for its psychoactive effects, and began to rediscover its medical potential. Synthetic THC, sold as Marinol, was approved to help cancer patients manage nausea from chemotherapy. In 1996, California became the first U.S. state to legalize medical cannabis. Canada followed with a regulated medical system in 2001. Today, research continues around the world. Studies explore cannabis as a treatment for chronic pain, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, and anxiety. For many patients, it offers relief when other medicines fail. What was once demonized is being reconsidered through the lens of science and compassion. But beyond science, cannabis has always carried cultural and spiritual weight. For Rastafarians, it is the tree of life, a sacred herb used in reasoning sessions to deepen spiritual connection and seek truth. In Sufi traditions across South Asia, cannabis has long been part of devotional gatherings, fueling music, dance, and prayer. And in modern times, cannabis continues to inspire art, music, and community. For some, it is a medicine. For others, a spiritual tool. For many, it is both. From the frozen tombs of Siberia, to the bustling marketplaces of ancient India, to today's research labs, cannabis has traveled a remarkable path. It has been revered as sacred, embraced as medicine, banned as dangerous, and rediscovered once more. The story of cannabis is, in many ways, the story of humanity itself. How we choose to see the natural world around us, and how we redefine what is healing, what is sacred, and what is forbidden. The question remains, how will our generation write the next chapter?